Hello, Internet. This is Trapped Fangirl signing in, and this is how to survive a long car journey with your siblings. As someone who, for their entire life, has gone on incredibly long car journeys, there's certain tricks that you can use to just generally make the entire experience easier for everyone involved, especially if your family is quite argumentative or your siblings are just particularly annoying, which mine are. Now, the first thing that I would really recommend is investing in a good pair of headphones, especially if you often go on these car journeys. Like, often we'll be travelling up to London, which from where I am is 3 hours long. Or we've been recently travelling to Manchester, we went out to Scotland. Long car journeys equal good headphones. You need them a lot within these journeys, especially with your siblings or if your family just has different music tastes to you. I remember going up to London and I forgot my headphones and I didn't have my earplugs and the music was awful, guys. It's just awful. It was the longest car journey I've ever had in my life. But with good headphones, you need a large amount of music, especially if your car journey is over an hour long. Or if you're like me and you prefer to read but you can't read because motion sickness is a thing, then get an audiobook. I've recently got Stephen King's Insomnia, and about 2 weeks ago we travelled up to Manchester and I got halfway through the book, and for a 5 hour plus car journey, it felt like half an hour while I was listening to this book. So if you prefer to immerse yourself in stories, I'd recommend the book. If you prefer music, then stick with your music. However, I would recommend getting a good range of music, so my range goes from everywhere. So in my phone, I've got an entire file just for classical music, an entire file for screamo music, and I've got files for everything. It's good to be organised, especially for car journeys, so you don't waste time trying to find all of your music. Get playlists. Playlists are always a good idea when travelling anywhere. I'd also recommend a pillow and a blanket, even if it's not like an overnight journey, because when you sit in a car or if you sit anywhere for too long, you generally start to ache, and by having a pillow, I find you can reduce the stress on your back and all your shoulders and stuff while you're sat in the car, and it just makes it more comfortable. The blanket I need because more often than not, one of my family's got the windows open, and when you're on a motorway, that wind is really bracing against your legs. And since we're having nice weather and yay, warm sunshine, it's when you're in shorts and the wind's hitting your leg, it's not nice. So a blanket is definitely recommended, even if it is really warm, just to be a windbreaker. Apart from that, I suggest you get water and mints and fruit. Don't try to avoid dairy products when you're going on long car journeys. I find the more dairy you have, the more likable. I can English today. The more likely you are to experience motion sickness. I found that out when I had 2 Oreo milkshakes and then went for a 3 hour car journey, and that wasn't. Don't do that, please. If you learn anything from these videos, don't drink 2 milkshakes and then go on a long car journey on a hot day. Bad idea. Just generally avoid dairy products. Try not to eat too much. My brother ate a lot of food while we were up in Manchester at a birthday party, and on the way back it was disgusting. Like, he was green. I honestly thought he was going to throw up everywhere. But we got home without an incident, thankfully. But even so, if you are prone to motion sickness, I recommend you have a bag with no holes in it, apart from the one at the top, obviously. Some mints and some water. Even if you're not prone to motion sickness, accidents can happen, and certain things will make you feel more ill depending on the climate. No car journey is the same. Like, no car journey. Try and stick to the window seats. I've got 2 siblings and we're in a 5-seater car. So as the oldest, I managed to bag the window seat. I find when I'm sat in the middle, I tend to get more motion sick. It doesn't bode well with my stomach. I don't like being sat in the middle because I move like that too much. But when I'm in the car by the window seat, I just hold on to the door so that when we're going around corners, instead of going like that, I just move it a little bit. And it really helps with my stomach, so it helps me settle it and all sorts. Oh, right. If you don't have good headphones, or you just don't like music and that lot, but your family's still quite loud, or you don't like the music, or it's arguments, get earbuds. Like the sort they give you on the plane. My mum has loads of them because my family's loud sleepers. Everyone in my family is loud sleepers. I talk in my sleep. There you go. If I ever fall asleep and I start talking, please take note because I often don't know what I say. But apparently they're always riveting conversations. I once fell asleep at my mate's and she told me I spent the entire night talking about potatoes and unicorns. My head. I don't know what else to say to that. Apparently when I sleep I dream of potatoes and unicorns. Life goals. But seriously, if you are going for a night car journey, so if you're going from, 8 and the car journey is about 5 hours, it's recommended that you get earplugs. Even if your family are quite quiet when they sleep or they're not argumentative or anything, having earplugs definitely helps you sleep in a car. I've had 14 years of being in a car for long car journeys. I remember my family used to be in the army. We used to be army rats, and we'd move across the country a lot. And during the nights, my mum would give me earplugs so that the noise of the streets wouldn't wake me up. Like the sirens going past and stuff and all the other cars, they wouldn't wake me up. And it's recommended. Even now, I'll still have a pair of earplugs if I'm going for a night journey, just because it makes the entire thing easier. Now, I don't know how many other people do this, but I have a story in my head that when I get bored or the situation is stressful, I add to the story. Like inside my head, I have this completely alter ego, and this person in my head has all the witty comebacks that you wish you said during an argument but didn't. And then I work out the conclusions of what would happen afterwards, the consequences, and it just goes off an entire different storyline. And the weirdest part is, that's a possibility. With an infinite, let's hope I pass my English exam. With an infinite amount of worlds and possibilities and timelines, that could have happened. These stories in your head that you wish that you'd taken a different route, those would have happened to another version of you at some point. And I think that's pretty cool. It makes my head hurt sometimes when I think about it. Like, I could have chosen to do, I don't know, I got my little book. It's full of little ideas for my YouTube. I could have chosen to do today what makes a good love story, or how to survive school, which I know is coming up again soon. Joy of joys. I look forward to giving you all advice that I myself never took. But yeah, the stories in your head. Sorry, going off topic again. Even if you're not the most creative person, there's guaranteed to be at some point in your life where you've looked back and you've gone, well, what if I did do that, or if I didn't do that? What if I just turned around and told them no? Like, if you think about that and you think about the possibilities, it definitely makes the time go by a lot quicker in the car. What I do is, I've got my DS, and although I would never let my siblings play my Pokemon, I often let my sister go on the other games that I've got on my DS, even if it's just to shut her up. For anyone who sits in the front, who managed to bagsy that perfect shotgun seat, we have a bag of like bribery, I guess you could. Sorry, I'm playing with the band on my wrist again. We have a lot of bribery stuff at the front of the car, so we've got sweets and crisps and stuff for these long car journeys. So if my siblings are good, usually I don't get them. I tend not to eat too much in the car. But if my siblings are good, like my parents would give them sweets and stuff, and it just improves their behaviour. It's always good to have something to work towards in the car. You could also play like games like, I know it's stereotypical, but I Spy is always a good one. We play the alphabet game where you go through the alphabet and you have to find the letter either on a car or a sign, and you keep going until you get to the really awkward ones like cues that you have to find, and it generally shuts my siblings up for a small time. Even my parents get involved sometimes, which is always good. But just try and make the situations as smooth as possible. Like, I'm going on a long car journey to London for a barbecue. Yay! And I have all my stuff packed already. I've got my mints, I've got my headphones, my phone's on charge, I've got my pillow downstairs with my blanket, and I've got everything ready for this car journey. Preparation. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. That's something that my school desperately tried to drill in my head that I completely ignored. Yeah, I can give you guys advice for days, but most of the time this is stuff that I've had to figure out the hard way, and stuff that I wish I'd taken instead of just ignoring it all. Anyway, I have to go. I should be packing my bags, even though we're only staying overnight, and I've already packed. But I've got to go and help my family. So, I hope you guys found this useful. This is Chapter Fangirl, signing out. Bye.